think the kitties are trying to tell me they want to go back to the house. And play in the snow. That cedar tree that's right now, right in the middle of the frame, when I brought it here was maybe 3 inches tall in a little solo cup. It's from my great-great-grandfather's graveyard in central Georgia that my brother found after it had been lost to the family, and which we maintain now. But now it's probably 8 feet, 9 feet tall, and that's just in a few years. It has done really well. It likes where it's at. Come here. And the kitties, this is all new to them, of course. They're less than a year old, so, you know, they were born during the summer or in the late spring. I'm not sure exactly which. These are the ones I found in the dumpster that somebody had thrown away to die, which, if you can't tell from my voice, makes me furious. And I found Gray first, then a month or so later, I found Token. They were in this dumpster. The entrance to the dumpster was 6 feet off the ground, so there's no way that these little kittens that were barely weaned could have gotten in there on their own. Somebody put them in there. And in summer, one in May, one in June, they definitely would not have survived more than a day or two in that heat. And so I got them out. I was going to foster them only and take them to Georgia Mountain Rescue, but then, I got attached to them. I'm more of a dog person myself, but, these guys were just pointlessly cute and super sweet. And now I can't imagine separating them. I know they fight a lot in the videos, but at night they snuggle up together and rub on each other and purr. And Georgia Mountain Rescue, that's a very worthy, it's a no-kill shelter. It's a very worthy thing to donate to if you are interested in helping animals that have been abandoned or otherwise discarded. They helped me coordinate getting them neutered as soon as it was viable, as well as all their shots, and they're chipped. And it was not a lot of money. I mean, far less than I'm sure I would have had to spend had I gone to the veterinarian on my own. So as a bonus, I've got my 2 little companions that I'm kind of training like dogs. They're not quite as obedient as a dog, but they're not dogs, they're cats. Hello boy, how are you? But they're very sweet, and they obey when they want to. They make me think of toddlers, because whatever you forbid them from doing is definitely what they're going to make a beeline for 9/10 out of 10. I apologize, my face is frozen. Don't go too high up that tree, Dingleberry. So much for being graceful. Did you get into the Sacramento wine, buddy? Because you're not very graceful. But now they're mine. Smoke and Token, or Velcro and Bernard, depending. They're super sweet. They do hurt me every once in a while, but they don't mean to. They're playing, or they slip or something and the claws come out that they try to stabilize themselves, and I just happen to be the closest thing. But they don't mean to hurt me. So I've taken my scratches. But they're super sweet. If you can't tell, I like them. I built them I don't know if you can see it, that cat ladder. That cat ladder allows them to go up and down to the balcony, deck, whatever you want to call it, that's 12 feet off the ground. Nothing else can get up there. Maybe maybe a raccoon or a possum or something like that, but I'm pretty sure they can handle that. The bigger concern around here is eagles. We do have them. They're bald eagles. I've seen them hunting ducks and other animals. But my philosophy on that is I want these guys to have the best quality of life that they can have for the time that they can have it. And if a predator gets them, then at least they didn't die in a stinking hot dumpster. You know, but hopefully nothing will get them. They're not stupid. You know, when a dog shows up, they're either up a tree or up the cat ladder, one or the other. And now that they're getting their adult size on them, they would be something that shouldn't, most animals would probably not really want to take on, especially with the two of them. Look at them. But, you know, a lot of people say, well, you should only have indoor cats. I don't agree with that. Growing up, we never had indoor cats. They were always outdoor. They would come in at night if they wanted to, and they didn't have to. But when it's cold like this, they would almost certainly want to. But these guys, you know, I've got them an outdoor shelter that's heated. So if they want to be in that, they can. If it's raining, I leave them in the house. I'm not going to let them be outside when it's raining because I'm just afraid that exposure might get them. And I know they'd be miserable. They'd be trapped under wherever they could find shelter and not be able to go anywhere. But they don't really like being in the house all that much. It's kind of a stimulatory wasteland, which is not what they need. They need stimulus. They need to be able to work on their, you know, their predatory instincts. And yes, I know that means they're going to kill some squirrels. Already gotten some. Chipmunks, I already got some of those too. Rabbits, yep. So far, the birds have seemed to be clever enough or fast enough to stay away. But yeah, they're going to do a little local damage. But they're not breeding. So it isn't like they're establishing a colony of feral cats that are going to destroy a lot of native species. And generally, they don't leave this yard. I don't know how that works as far as their instincts are concerned, but they are super reluctant to go beyond the borders of the yard. When I walk around the block, they will follow me, but boy, they stay close and tight, and they don't want to be too far away. If they get to a point where they kind of boycott the game and don't want to come any further, then they get really upset if I keep going. And I can hear them meowing, meowing, meowing until I come back. A funny thing happened earlier in the year. Some friends and I went out on a boat at night to look at some Christmas lights, and we ended up getting stuck because there was a mud flat where we didn't expect one, where there is not usually one, obviously, but look how far the water's down. The water's got to be 15 feet lower than normal. We ended up stuck on that thing, and it took 4 or 5 hours to get rescued and back. And when I got back to the dock of my neighbor's dock, both of the kitties were just waiting at the end of the dock for me. They were absolutely just sitting there like, hey, last time we saw you, it was here. Where have you been? But they're super sweet. Token is he's a little bit more afraid of things, but he's a lot less afraid of people. And Smoke is a lot less afraid of things, but he's pretty careful about other people. I mean, he likes me and all that. But when he wants his distant time, he wants his distant time. He doesn't want to be bothered until he's ready to be bothered. And then he really wants to be in your face. Token kind of stays close to me a lot. Hello. Hello, boy. How are you? Good boy. You having a good time? He stays pretty close to me for the most part. But he's better with other people. When we run into people walking or that kind of thing, he will allow them to get close to him. And he's getting to the point where he'll let people pet him and that kind of thing. And Smoke, he wants no part of it. Now, I will say this. Smoke has come a long way where my parents are concerned. With my parents, when I take him home with me, he will sit there and let them pet him, and he'll even come up to them and rub on them. So he's not so distant that he, oh gosh, you are not graceful. He's not so distant that he won't let anyone close to him. It just takes an investment of time and treats and, effort. But he's the braver one, and he's just funny. Token over there fell in the water, about a month ago, which was funny. And I made a kitty burrito out of him, and at first he was very upset, and I'm sure he just didn't understand. But once I dried him off and rubbed him down in the kitty burrito to prevent him from scratching me any more than he already did, he just purred and purred and purred and loved it. Now, if I pull out a towel, he'll almost roll himself up in it, and it's funny. So, but hope everybody's having a Merry Christmas, and maybe some of these views will give somebody a chuckle somewhere. If you need a little something in your life, go to a shelter. There's plenty of kitties and plenty of dogs that need a home. And I tell you, that was the hardest part about carrying these cats to the shelter when I had them taken care of, is I wanted to take all the animals home, and I just can't. But with these two guys, I can take good care of them. Smoke, you gronk. And they'll tell me when they really want to go in. Right now, they're still having fun. When they're ready to go in, they'll go toward the house. And then they'll meow at me. So everybody have a Merry Christmas.